Welcome back, Bob the Vaping Computer Guy. Today is Tuesday, the 26th, and we're going to do another vlog. Welcome back. So today we're going to be doing some vape news, as we always do. And I've been getting so much stuff. I started putting in having Google email me every day everything they find with the word vape or vaping in it, and I'm getting way too much stuff that I can even sift through every week. But I picked the best out of the last 50 that I saw or so, and we'll talk about a couple of articles. What else are we going to talk about? Talk about just, I guess, basic stuff, what I'm vaping on, some juice information, coils, what I got upcoming for review, and then we're going to do two winners, and choose the two winners that are each going to win a free Zamplebox. All right, and of course, we're going to do that last, so don't skip to the end. What I'm vaping on. Still using my cuboid. I love this cuboid. I just love, the size is just perfect for me. Still liking, I'm always using the latest stuff I have, you know, and I go back a little bit, but I always like to stay with the latest stuff, even after I reviewed it. Unless there's something terrible about it, I'm still using it. Still using this Lazimo S3. Got my own little, I couldn't find wraps for this thing yet, it's too new, so I threw my own wrap on the door, so I know that's the side, that's the door. Still vaping on this that I did a review for about a week ago. This is the Sense RTA. Still loving that large juice capacity, working very well. The the Smoke TF G2, still doing very well. Even better taste on this, smaller juice capacity, a better taste. Go check out those reviews. And the next thing I have coming up for review, and don't even ask me what juice was in. Well, in the first one here, this was, got a bottle of it somewhere, my vape bag. This was Vista Vapors Kiwi Watermelon. Transferred that into a unicorn bottle, and that's what I got in there, which is just about done. Whoop, sorry about that. Just about done there. In this one, I have some of this is Fruition by Seduce Juice. It's a cereal vape, and I'm kind of over cereal vapes, but I'm trying to get rid of it and empty the jar so I could use it for something else, and I don't want to just throw it out. And then in this one, this is a tank I got coming up for review. This is the Avocado. All right, with the smoked glass on there. That review will be up in a few days. I've been using that for about a week and a half now. And I got some of that Sticks strawberry in there. All right, so that's what I'm vaping on, and I'm going to take a vape. It's been about 3 minutes since I vaped. You know, real quick, I was curious what you guys use, what kind of coils you guys like to use if you're building your own. Obviously, if you're buying pre-made coils, it doesn't really matter. You're buying the coils for your tank. But so many times I've been using alien wire. You know, everybody wants Claptons and everything else, so I've been using some of this alien wire. Okay, I made my own Clapton coils. All right, with a spaced out wrap on it. You know, I got, what is this? This is 24-36 gauge Clapton, you know? And I'm using all this stuff, and I'm trying all this stuff. And you're always trying to get the best vape, the best taste. And I still keep going back to good old Kanthal or stainless steel, single band of metal, just, you know, spaced out coil or not spaced coil, 5, 6, 7 wraps. And I still keep getting the best taste on that. I got some of that Clapton wire that I just bought in there that I didn't make myself. And it's okay, but I think I'm going to pull it out and put some regular coils in there. I just find the regular coils just do the job. They do it well. You have more control, I think, over your building resistance and everything. But I know, you know, if you guys follow Instagram and you know, follow any vaping sites or stuff like, you know, you see all these coils these people build, these crazy coils. I don't know if they're doing it just for fun because they like the looks or they're really getting better taste out of it, but I don't find I get any better taste out of those kind of coils. So I'm just curious what you think about that. Am I buying the wrong coils, making the wrong coils? I don't know, but I'm not enjoying them as much as just a simple coil. And I got the Claptons in here now, and it's not as good. And this is 2 coils in here. We're coming out to 0.3 ohms, 60 watts. And I don't know, I just thought I was getting a better taste on it when I was using just standard Kanthal or stainless steel on a single coil. So not a dual coil, but just one piece of wire, no Claptons and no twisted Clapton, whatever they call them, spider wire and stuff like that. So curious what you think about that and what you guys use. In the news, let's see. This comes from counselheal.com. E-cigarettes attract more teens today. Middle school kids addicted to vaping. Hate these articles. Hate them, and I'm doing the ones I hate first. Okay? I hope I put them in that order. But anyway, I figure get the aggravating stuff out of the way. E-cigarette consumption has been the latest fad in many middle schools and high school students, and use have tripled from 2013 to 2014. There's just so much in here talking about how kids are addicted. Middle school kids. Now, I don't live in a large city or an inner city. I'm about an hour north of New York City, and I grew up in Brooklyn, so I know what it's like until my early 20s. So believe me, I know it well. But up here, my kids are in middle school. There's no kids vaping here. I certainly have never, ever, ever seen any kids that are hanging out in the street corners vaping that are, high school kids maybe, but middle school. To say middle school kids are addicted to vaping. This is just something to catch attention, and it's disgusting, and I think it's very wrong. These people have an agenda. They're just trying to incite aggravation, among people to be against vaping. And I just wish they had. I'm not going to read too much of this article or any more of it even. You can read it if you want below. But the idea of writing these articles just disgusts me that these people call themselves reporters. And we'll get to that later because there is an article about someone who had an e-cigarette batteries that exploded. And the reporter did a very fair job, I think. And so I'll have that in there. Next one, thelegalexaminer.com. And this is from the state of Illinois. Explosive dangers of e-cigarettes. Heralded as being safer form of smoking, vapor e-cigarettes have become popular devices for smokers in recent years. According to the National Institute of Drug Abuse, e-cigarettes are battery-operated devices. Okay, because the devices deliver nicotine through a vaporizer instead of smoke, the act of using e-cigarettes is commonly referred to as vaping. The use of e-cigarettes over the last few years has exploded both literally and figuratively, leaving e-cigarette users facing potential dangerous results. Over the past few years, news results have mentioned cases where e-cigarette users have experienced an unexpected dangerous side effect of e-cigarettes. In one case, a 20-year-old Naples, Florida man described using an e-cigarette when it exploded. Explosion left him with burns on his face, esophagus, and lungs, blah, blah, blah. And this is what they talk about, and this is what they focus about. They don't focus about how many people fall asleep with a cigarette at night and burn themselves and their entire families to death. They don't talk about all the people with cancer. They don't talk about the people who drop a cigarette in the car and get in a car accident because they're smoking, trying to get the ash out the window when they should be driving the car. They don't talk about honest things. And there's just way too many of these articles out there, and they're really aggravating. This is a good one. Anti-smoking doctor calls for vaping to help hopeful quitters. Let's see, the subtitle under the picture is Vaping Experts Have Slammed the Hong Kong Government, this is mainly in Hong Kong, government for turning a deaf ear to the potential to improve health outcomes. A European doctor researcher believes vaping can help many to reduce the harm of using cigarettes and even quit. Consumers and businesses owners alike have been consistent in their calls urging the Hong Kong government to adopt a more open attitude towards vaping products, also known as e-cigarettes. Last week, European doctor and scientist Professor Ricardo Pelosa arrived in Hong Kong, making the argument that it can be a boon to public health and even reduce smoking rates. Professor Ricardo Pelosa is a doctor turned scientist supporting the liberalization of vaping products in order to lower the incidence of smoking and help people quit. He is the former president of the Italian Anti-Smoking League and founded the University of Catena's Center for Tobacco Research in 2003, making him an active member and contributor to the European debate. Basically, this is someone who is anti-smoking. He realizes the benefits of vaping, and that getting vaping can help people get off of cigarettes. A little more on this. His recent visit to Hong Kong, smoking where am I? I lost my place. Stressed that the vaping, given proper monitoring and regulation, can be a gateway away from the harmful effects of smoking, citing a widely endorsed Public Health England report by Public Health England, which concluded that e-cigarettes is 95% less harmful than combustible cigarettes in terms of harmful constituents produced. By definition, smokers are already polluting themselves with more than 7,000 chemicals. What causes disease is a synergetic action of these many thousands of chemicals. If you look at the components of what is emitted by electronic cigarettes, it's not thousands of chemicals, but a few, 95% less chemicals. So this is very good when you have people who are doctors, who are professors, who are anti-smoking and say, yes, vaping is the better way to go. Of course, quitting completely and not doing anything and just breathing air would be the best thing, but vaping is the way to go. So it's nice to see articles that have people with common sense in them and not an agenda. Here's one from, I don't even know what country this is from, Scotland, okay, but it's good. Vaping now allowed on hospital grounds. A hospital. Scotland's biggest health board has decided to allow people to smoke e-cigarettes on hospital grounds. E-cigarettes can now be used on the NHS Greater Gaslow and Clyde grounds by patients, visitors, and staff in a bid to further cut smoking rates. They're allowing people to smoke. They say even when they to vape, even when they have a no smoking policy, people with really bad smoking addictions would still go outside and vape and smoke, even though you're not allowed to do it anywhere on the grounds. So they said, you know what? We're not beating these people. They're still doing it, whether it's one of the thousands of employees or visitors or whatever. Let's make vaping, because we know it's much safer. We're a hospital. Let's make that allowed. Cigarettes are still not allowed. Smoking's not allowed, but vaping will be. And they'll hopefully convert those smokers who have to get that fix, that cigarette fix, into vapors. And that's a wonderful idea, and that's a great thing. So, kudos to them. This one by the Daily Caller. Where is it? Vapers went big. House committee passes amendment to save e-cigarettes. The House Appropriations Committee passed an amendment Tuesday that could save 99% of e-cigarette products from prohibition. Food and Drug Administration is set to announce its so-called deeming regs, which would require all cigarette products that came out on the market after February 15, 2007 to go through an onerous pre-market tobacco application process which could cost millions of dollars. Since almost all vaping products on the market were released after February 2007, hardly anyone would avoid a PMTA, and almost no business, with the exception of major tobacco companies, would be able to bear the regulatory burden. You got some guy making e-juice, and probably selling a couple $100,000 worth of e-juice a year and making a decent living. Even if you're selling $1 million a year of e-juice, so $3 million, it doesn't mean you can spend $1 million for this application and this process. So that would put a lot of people out of business, and this is what they were trying to do. Only products in the last 6 years have passed the PMTA, according to House Appropriations Committee. Only one product has passed. They don't tell what product. The agency's economic analysis of the rule predicts that the cost of such approvals would be so high that approximately 99% of products on the market would not even put in the application process. They basically just put everybody out of business. But the House Appropriations Committee delivered a much-needed win, which would change the predicate date for the vaping products. But they don't give what the date is, which is annoying. At least I'm not seeing it in here. Introduced by GOP Republican Tom Cole and Democrat Representative Sanford Bishop, the amendment passed by 31-19, despite the protests of Democratic National Committee Chair Debbie Weissman Schultz. Unlike the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, which is rumored to issue one-size-fits-all regulations, cigarette and tobacco products earlier this month. So basically they were trying to say anything after 2007 had to pass these certain requirements, and nobody could afford it, nobody could be able to pass it. So they were trying to kill it. So they say that this is a win for us because they changed that date. But when are they going to change that date to? If they change the date as of today, then it means going forward, anybody who wants to start a company has to have $1 million or so to get through this process. And that means there won't be any new companies. So that's bad. But it's still a win because they weren't able to pass this. Let me see if I can play this video for you. Long Island man says e-cigarette battery exploded in his pocket inside of a store, stunning customers. Watch this video and then we'll talk about it.
That scary scene played out here at this Freeport Home Depot. One customer told us she thought the victim was trying to blow up the store until they all saw his pants were on fire. We have to warn you, some of the images you're about to see are graphic.
It did this to my pants.
The exploding e-cigarette battery ripped through Stephen Rosenbluth's sweatpants and boxers.
My pocket went on fire, actually exploded.
Even worse, the second-degree burns it left on his thigh and hand when he tried to pull the battery out.
I took a paper towel and I wiped it, and a lot of my skin came off.
Patricia Mills was in line behind Rosenbluth at the store and saw it all.
It started spinning around, and it was like making fireworks and things like that. It looked like I don't know what, but it was very frightening.
Other than email, the e-cigarette manufacturer, Rosenbluth says he almost let the horrifying incident slide until
I saw on NBC that it happened to somebody else.
a News 4 report Tuesday showed a rechargeable battery had exploded in a Queens woman's pocket earlier this month.
Katrina Williams is walking with a cane.
A recent report from NBC News showed e-cig battery explosions are on the rise. We're still waiting for a response from eFest, the China-based company that made the battery in this latest incident. We found a warning on its website the batteries shouldn't be placed in pockets. We also found this, an email from a customer who appeared to have a similar experience posted on the site. It reads, quote, "I was only informing you of the hazards of keeping the battery in your pocket in hopes that you put a warning on the battery so that the same thing doesn't happen to anyone else." That message was dated in 2014. There's still no warning on Rosenbluth's batteries, a problem his attorney says needs to be fixed.
What we're not sure of yet was this substandard manufacturing. Is this a problem of all lithium-ion batteries?
What if I was driving? I have a 3-year-old kid. What if I was getting gas?
Rosenbluth tells us he doesn't know if he'll have to undergo skin grafts on those burns. Meanwhile, his attorney tells us he's looking for others who may have experienced a similar incident. In Freeport, Jackie Beckford, News 4 New York.
So here's what I have to say, and I'm going to try and say this in a nice way. And the reason is, I'm sure many of you, my viewers who are watching, do this. And I want to tell you how I feel, but I want to be nice. Stop putting these friggin' things in your pocket. Does that make sense to you? Why? Why would you take something? I mean, these are not AA batteries. These are not 1.5 volt batteries. These are 3.7. These are large capacity batteries. These things get hot. These things explode if you treat them improperly. If you're proper and you know what you're doing, you're using the right batteries, the right amps, name brand, quality batteries, and you're treating them right, they're safe. If you stick this in here, you're vaping on it, you stick it in your pocket where the button may get pressed, and maybe there's a 10-second timeout, but maybe maybe suddenly your watts go up, and you're at 150 watts, and then you vape for 10 seconds, and then you move, and it goes off. Then you move again, 10 more seconds, and then 10 more seconds, and 10 more seconds. These things can explode. Stop being stupid, these people. I'm sorry this guy got hurt. I'm sorry anybody ever gets hurt. But stop being stupid. Please, 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 don't be on the news like this. Don't put these things in your pocket, okay? Carry them. You want to put it in a jacket pocket? I think that's better than putting it in your pants pocket. I never, ever, ever, ever stick this in my pocket, okay? There is no reason to do that. Buy yourself a cell phone case and hang it on and put it in there on your belt. All right, clip it on your belt, stick it in there. I'm surprised we don't see more products like that out for this. Maybe I'll start buying a whole load of cheap cell phone cases and marketing them as mod carrying cases. Someone's going to steal that idea, I know it. But do that. Do something safer. Don't put these things in your pocket. Please, don't be on the news. This guy's going to sue, all right? They'll end up saying, here's $100,000 to walk away. Somebody will do that, eFest, or whoever. But at least the reporter tried to contact eFest, check their website. That alone is much more reporting and research than most of these people do. Just doing that and going to the website and looking at those things is very good. So glad for her that she had the brains to do that and did the right thing, and a little bit better reporting than we typically see there. So next up here was Wasserman Schultz slammed for opposition to e-cigarettes. Democratic National Chair Debbie Wasserman Schultz is under fire for her criticism of the e-cigarette industry as a machine that will addict future generations to nicotine. It's irrational fear-mongering comments which actually play into some tobacco companies' hands, as one could argue tobacco companies might benefit from the absence of alternative, less harmful nicotine products. Jeffrey Stammer, co-founder and CEO of Nicopor Labs, told the Daily Caller. Speaking Tuesday in opposition to an amendment that could save the bulk of e-cigarette business from prohibition, this Democratic National Committee Chair Debbie Weissman Schultz said, it would seem to me that the only reason this industry exists, the only reason the e-cigarette industry exists, is that there are some that would like to hear and believe, although we don't have data to attach to that, that they have been able to eliminate their addiction to cigarettes through this product. So she's saying the only reason this exists is that some would like to say, well, you can eliminate your addiction. I'm sure all of you watching know, if you were smokers and then started vaping, that you probably eliminated your addiction to cigarettes already through smoking. So that's the evidence. That's the data. Just talk to people. We all know it. We all know just by watching these videos, mine, everybody else's, you know that e-cigarettes do help smokers quit. So when people like this just go out and lie, either they're not in touch with the people, or they're lying, or the people they're speaking to are lying to them. That's the only options there. This was a good one. E-cigarette studies. Vaping indoors unlikely to pose any risk to non-vapers. Vaping indoors unlikely to pose risk to bystanders, according to a research paper carried out by 3 educational institutions. Presented at the 4th Workplace and Indoor Aerosols Convention in Barcelona. Did you even know there was such a thing? There was a Workplace and Indoor Aerosols Convention in Barcelona. And this is the 4th time they've had it. The paper is the first of its kind to show that exhaled e-cigarette particles evaporate within a matter of seconds. The study was carried out to determine how vaping would affect air quality indoors, with the results implying a risk or lack thereof to bystanders and non-vapers. The research team found there was no substantial impact on the room's air quality when vapor from closed system e-cigarettes was exhaled. Indeed, the results were the same when comparing rooms with and without ventilation systems. So that's a good one. This is saying basically there's no secondhand vapor. You're not getting like secondhand smoke. Doesn't sound right, secondhand vapor, but we all call it secondhand smoke. All right, and that you can actually get cancer, although you're a lot less likely you can get cancer from secondhand smoke. If you live with someone, let's say, who's a smoker, you can get lung cancer. According to this, there's negligible and no impact from breathing in somebody else's vapor, aside from 2 things that I could think of. 1, you might smell the vapor and not like the smell. And 2, if they're sick, you're going to get sick, but that would probably happen anyway. So it's a good thing. And I think this is the last one. Doctors attack e-cigarette tax, tell FDA to focus on benefits of vaping. A collection of scientists and researchers are urging the Food and Drug Administration to focus on the benefits of e-cigarettes and warn heavy taxation would be bad for public health. 7 leading tobacco control experts took the pages of the journal Addiction to examine the evidence on e-cigarettes. They found the devices cut smoking overall and could slash the number of deaths from tobacco. We're concerned the FDA, which has asserted its rights to regulate e-cigarettes, will focus solely on the possibility that e-cigarettes and other vapor nicotine products might act as a gateway to cigarette use, says David Levy, professor in the Department of Oncology at Georgetown Lombardia Comprehensive Cancer Center. We believe the discussion to date has been slanted against e-cigarettes, which is unfortunate because the big picture tells us that these products appear to be used mostly by people who already are or who are likely to become smokers. Okay? So whether it's a teenager who would probably have taken up smoking under peer pressure or stress or wants to look cool, now they'll go to vaping instead of cigarettes. And if you're a smoker and you try e-cigarettes, most likely, I think, haven't seen any studies, but I think you're probably not going back to smoking. All right? And here are a bunch of professors from educational institutes and from a cancer research center saying to the FDA, you're looking at it wrong. This is getting people off of there, and stop looking at it as, well, it's just something else someone's sticking in their mouth and that's why it's bad. So that's great. So there is your vaping in the news for this week. What else? I told you about the upcoming review of, that's just the next thing coming up here, of that avocado. I had that out of order in my list, but I said that already, so I won't say it again, even though I just said it again. E-juice. What I have? I've written down e-juice. I don't know what it was. Oh, you know, one of my favorite e-juices, and I don't want to say the name, and I'll tell you why in a moment. I just ran out of it, and it really bugs me. It's $15 for a 30 ml bottle, and I go through it pretty fast. So I was searching online, and I found that the same vendor has a wholesale site, and they'll pretty much sell to anybody, and you can get the same bottle for under $5. Problem is, there's a minimum order of a couple $100, because I placed the order for like $30 worth of stuff, and then they canceled it and told me, sorry, we're refunding you money, you didn't order, I think it was $150 worth of stuff. So $15 or $5. You actually, if I ordered $150 worth at $15 a bottle, you get, I didn't need a calculator for that, you get 10 bottles. But if I order $150 worth at the, I think it was $4.50, I get 33 bottles, over 3 times as much. But you have to spend $150 in juice. So that annoys me a little bit. I wish they had bigger bottles. They don't. You know, is it right for me to order and I'm not a store? I'm not going to resell it, but I'm giving them their asking price, right? I just have to buy $150 worth of it. So I'm trying to decide if I want to do that. Should I buy 150? You know what I got to do? I got to go into my local brick and mortar, and I know they don't carry this juice, and see if they want to carry it, maybe split it with them. Give them $75 worth and 75. I'll end up $75. I'll have 15 30 milliliter bottles. And see, at that price, 120 milliliters, which is 4 bottles. So basically it's $18 for 120 milliliters. That's a good price. It's a wholesale price, but I like the juice. So I got to decide if I want to do that. That's about it. I talked to you about the coils. That was also down low on my list, but we spoke of that already. I'm just curious what you guys think of for coils, what you use if you're building your own coils. What do you get the best flavor out of? Because I use a lot, and I just keep going back to that standard single wrap Canthol or stainless steel, and I just get the best taste off of it. I can't help it. That's that Clapton. So yeah, I don't know if you can see it here. It's not a very good build there. Yeah, it's not going to focus. But that's just a single wrap of stainless steel. I think it's better taste. I think the taste is better. Anyway, I know you guys just want to get those winners there. So let me pull that up. What we did was, we had a contest. 2 people will each win a Zamplebox. You'll get a code that you can go to Zamplebox.com. If you don't have an account, you create an account. You enter that code, and you will get your first box free. You don't have to continue after that. They're hoping you will, but you will get 1 free box. We did 2 contests. We ran one on Instagram. You had to follow me on Instagram, and I'm going to choose one of those windows randomly. And then you also I'm trying to look at the monitors. My camera's right in front of the monitor. And then Facebook. If you liked my Facebook page and commented there, we were choosing a winner also. Remember now, you have to be in the continental United States. You have to be at least 18 years old. I think that was it, right? There was probably something else, but anyway, so if I pick your name and you come back and say you're in Canada, Zamplebox won't ship there. You can't get it. I'm sorry, it's not me. It's the postal system in your country or whatever, and where Zamplebox offers stuff to. So, Instagram. Out of the Instagram winners, let's generate someone randomly. Ginger Choco 30. Ginger Choco 30. You win a Zamplebox. Contact me from your account on Zamplebox. On Instagram. Just send me a message, and I will respond with the code for you to get your free Zamplebox. Congratulations. And then for Facebook, another winner. Let's pull that up and generate someone random here. Maggie Bricker. Maggie Bricker, you win a Zamplebox from following me on Facebook. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And happy to be able to give those out to you guys. So also, Maggie, just message me from on Facebook from that account. It has to be from the same account. And as long as you're in the U.S. and over 18, then be able to get that code right over to you. I'll just send it to you in a message on Facebook, and you'll be able to go right online and order that from Zamplebox. So there you go. Congratulations to the 2 winners. See if we have any more contests coming up soon. And that's about it. Thank you very much for watching, taking the time to sit here and listen to me blather on here. I appreciate it. Check out my other videos, the other reviews for the recent stuff. And if you're new and you haven't subscribed, please do. And keep watching and keep on vaping. Thanks a lot.